Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back, folks, to another model kit review. This time it is the Universal Monsters, The Mummy. Now, this was issued by Atlantis recently, here in 2022. This, of course, is a reissue from the old Aurora kit, and that kit has long been gone. I'm sure there are a few out there on the collector's market. However, back in, I believe, 1992, Revell reissued the Aurora kit, so that was available from Revell back in the day. Now, Revell went, as we know, went bankrupt here in the U.S. Germany's Revell AG purchased Revell, but a lot of the tooling was left behind in the U.S., and Atlantis acquired the tooling for this old kit from Revell. So Revell had the tooling, and now Atlantis has it. So this is nothing but a reissue of the old Aurora kits. To me, this kit better represents the sequels to the original The Mummy movie. And just to show you what I'm talking about here, you can see here in the original movie, Karloff, his eyes both function and they work. And it's a very short sequence that takes place pretty much in the beginning of the movie. And we really don't see him again until the sequels. So for the sequels, there's 3 movies involved there. Actually, there's 4. We have The Mummy's Hand, and I don't think he's quite as refined in that, and definitely his face sculpt does not quite look like this kit. This kit looks more like the other sequels that came out: The Mummy's Curse, The Mummy's Ghost, and The Mummy's Tomb. So, you know, with the eye not functioning here, those 3 other movies that came out later on, I think Jack Pierce really refined the mummy there. So to me, this really represents the Lon Chaney mummy. In the movie The Mummy's Hand, which I don't think this kit represents, was played by both Boris Karloff and Tom Tyler. And that's why I think that this kit really doesn't represent that. The head makeup was totally different than what this kit represents. So this is kit number A452. It is limited release. It is glow-in-the-dark type kit, and comes in the standard boxing here from back in the day. And this represents the Lon Chaney mummy, and I think it's a fantastic nostalgic kit. It does include some extra glow-in-the-dark parts. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up to see what it looks like. I just took the plastic off the box. I haven't even opened it up myself. So right away we see the Aurora-ist style boxing here, all the parts thrown in on the trees there, so very nice. And then the separate glow-in-the-dark pieces bagged with it. So you're actually getting the original mummy kit with just the glow-in-the-dark parts added to it. So here's the instructions. Go ahead and look at this real quick here. And kind of folds out differently there. And just give you a full page view here of the instructions. Gives us a nice little article here about the mummy. Aurora style instructions here. Very nice. The assembly here. Of course, he's 8th scale, which seems to be the standard scale for these kits, Aurora style. And a couple of photographs of the built kit itself. And some of the other kits that are available. Of course, the Wolfman 2 was also released like this with the glow version. I have that, and I'll give you a review of that a little bit later. So there you go, folks. Let's go ahead and look at the plastic. And here's all the parts laid out that were in a single bag. And this is for the standard mummy kit. 36 parts in all, including the base. And pretty nice here. I'll go ahead and give you a close-up of some of the parts here. I'm not going to show everything up close. Just those parts that I feel deserve the attention. My observation about this is it looks very nice. Looks like they did clean up the tool enough for it to be presentable in this form, and it looks very nice. I mean, it's hard to believe that this kit dates back to the old Aurora days and how old that tooling was. It does show, the tools themselves do show sign of wear. That's when you start getting the extra plastic squeezing through the imprint of the tool there, but it's not too bad there. It's only showing up on just a few parts, and we expect that from kits like this, the old Aurora kits. I'll go ahead and show you the glow-in-the-dark parts after this. And here's the parts for the base, which makes for a very nice miniature diorama. And here's the description etched in there. Very nice. The plastic is kind of ivory color, and copyright 1983, which was the Revell release, I believe. Okay, very nice. And then you have the pillars here that get mounted with the Egyptian hieroglyphics and all that etched in on that on both sides. And more parts of the stand. Again, a piece of the Egyptian hieroglyphics there. And the back side of the mummy. Very detailed. Numbered. The parts are numbered. And a couple of sprues were like this with parts of the legs and arms. Part of the hand there. And the other tree with the other leg and arm, and the cobra snake. You can just see that. And another part of the base along with the feet. And one of the hands with the shredded cloth. Give you a close-up of the hand there. Very detailed. The last regular tree contains the upper torso and more of the base along with the head. Very detailed there. Very detailed there. The likeness is okay. To me, it doesn't look like Karloff at all. I'm sure there are a lot of alternatives to this. You can purchase separate heads that look more like Karloff for this kit. Now let's look at the glow parts. And here's the glow parts contained in a separate bag. Of course, we do receive the head parts and the cloth along with the cobra snake. Very cool there. And there you go. Here's some measurements for the head in case you wanted to print an alternative head for this. 31.6 millimeter, 1.24 inch, 23.4 millimeter, or 0.92 inch. 31.7 millimeter, or 1.25 inch. Show you how the head mounts to the upper torso. Kind of a turned head. That's how that looks. And there you have it. That was the frightening glow-in-the-dark, the Mummy Kit by Atlantis. Kit number A452. This is a limited release, so get it while you can. I think it's a fantastic kit, and definitely worth every penny. I'll put a link down below on how you can purchase this. But anyway, if you like my content, please subscribe, smash that like button. Happy modeling, everybody, and I'll be giving you more reviews of kits like this. Take care.